our field lines installed. Underneath the driveway, they have to run this, your drain line, they have to run it through a piece of hard pipe or culvert. So they've run, looks like a 6 or 8 inch culvert across this driveway. And so what I'll do, my water line comes here that ties to the building. So what I will do is I'm gonna continue this in the same trench, and I'll show you over here where I'm gonna hook it up. Okay, this is the water line coming from the meter down at the road. So that's coming in. So what I'll do is I'll run it up here, and then I'll bring the line from over there. And then what I've got them, they've got me a meter base that the water company sells that they put their meters in. So what I'm going to do is I will tee this line here, and I'll continue it to the building, and then I've got to go that way to go over and feed the house. So I'm going to put a valve. I will put a T, and then I'll have a valve going to the house that I can cut off, and then I'll have a valve going over to the building so I can cut it off. So essentially my main cutoff will be right here with easy access to get to it. So I'll go around through here and show you our field lines. All right, if you've not followed along before, we're gonna build a house right here. And so I went ahead and put a tank in for the building. We're gonna have a bathroom, a little kitchen sink and everything in there, so we'll have that. So only the water's running here. So there's a tank over there, so the water will come through here and feed down to my field lines. But what I've done is had him go ahead and put a Y on this here, and then I will set another septic tank right here on this side of the house, so everything will drain to that tank, and then the gray water will come down here, and we'll already have this set up to connect into. So we just put a standpipe here, that way we'll know where to dig back down to once we get that tank in place. Let's go down here and check out the chamber system. Okay, I have installed a 4-bedroom system for this house and to collect the garage, which once we move in the house, nobody will be over here, so it'll just be occasional use. But this ground, as you can see, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, is not the best. You've got some of this slate rock in here, which fortunately he didn't hit it until he got down there lower, but it ain't affected him that much. But it's not the greatest of soil up here on the hill, so I ended up having to put, for 4 bedrooms, we ended up having to have 495 feet of line. So he went ahead and put me 5 100-foot trenches in, so we shouldn't have any problem on getting rid of the water. So we end up going with the chamber system, so those are pretty neat on how they work. But there's our field line system. They're supposed to come up here tomorrow and inspect it, and once they get that inspected, we'll be able to get everything covered up. All right, next on the agenda, if you'll notice in this bottom, it's there. I mean, there's not a lot of fall to it, and you've got wet spots through it, but right here at my ramp coming down off into the bottom, I don't want this to be wet. So I'm catching all the water off this hill. It's coming down through here, and you can see where it's washed this mud in here, but that water all comes right in here and sort of stands. You can see still muddy here, and then if we walk right on over here, I mean, this is just still muddy, muddy, muddy. You see, even we got a little old pond here, and this ground, you would think in this bottom it would soak it up, but it won't. It'll just stand here. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got a 6-inch tile. I'm gonna have to add probably another 30 feet. I'm thinking I'm gonna take one of those 2-foot culvert pipe that used to be under the driveway, and I'm gonna cut me one about 18 inches, and I'm gonna dig me a hole and put that down in it, and I'm gonna cut me a 6-inch hole so my 6-inch tile can go through it, and then I'm gonna cut me a trench over to the drainage ditch from the pond, and then we're gonna get this water out of here and drain it over there. That way it should, all this runoff collects in this area, we should be able to get rid of it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get to it. right, there's our catch basin. I think it'll work. That'll hold a little weight. Thing I'll have to do is I'll have to rig me up some kind of grate to go over top of this. That way, if for some reason somebody's riding down through there with a four-wheeler or a tractor, they don't go off in a hole. Now I'm gonna lay me out a 6-inch hole here for my pipe to go in the side of it. We'll bring it in. I'll put a little rock in the bottom of the hole. I'll bring my pipe in about right here. And that'll put us in pretty good shape. Well, let's see what we can do with this. I wish I had a little longer blade, but maybe I can make do. I'll tell you this, it don't want to turn inside that plastic. So this ain't gonna be the prettiest of holes. Alright folks, I'll get back to you. I'm going to whittle it here a little bit and we'll get that baby slipped down in there and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Alright, there she is. That's the way I wanted it. It kind of snaps itself in place. So what I'll do is dig a hole and then I'll fill this full of rock, and that way that water can collect here, then hit this pipe, and we'll run it in that ditch. Let's go out there and get us a location for it. I'm gonna try to find the lowest spot, and then we'll dig a hole. Alright folks, I got my base set. Now let's run a line over through there and tie it into the ditch. And then I'll come back and fill in the bottom of this with rock. And then we'll tie our tile in. But kiddos and wife are wanting to put a garden out. But I don't know about you. I think that'll grow a ear of corn. I'm down about 2 feet probably, and it's black as gold. Let's dig a ditch. All right, let's put a little rock in it. And pack it in and cover this ditch up. All right, that's got a few rock in the bottom of it. Pipe's in there, hopefully. Water will drain in here and go in this hole, and then drain through that pipe and go down into the ditch. I've got gradual fall all the way down there, so it should, 6 inches should carry quite a bit of water. But one thing I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to manufacture me a grate to go over this, so we don't fall down in it. So before I leave, I'll stick me a post in it. That way we don't drive in it until I can get something built to go over that. But let's put some dirt over it and call it a day. My little girl turned 9 yesterday, so I've got a birthday party to go to. So I'm gonna get this ditch covered up, and we're gonna go have a birthday party. So if you watched, I appreciate it. Hey, we'll catch you on another one.
Alright, so it looks like our drain worked. We ran a 6-inch tile all the way down there. And where we're sitting at now, we'd be in 2 feet of water. Well, about 2 feet of water.
Or 2 inches. 2 inches maybe, not 2 feet.
I got confused.
The floorboard would be wet if we were in 2 foot of water, Palin.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, alrighty. So I'm glad the drain worked. See you later. Bye.